Let's understand the difference between finite and infinite games. Finite games have winners and losers. The rules of the game are known to both sides. The boundaries of the playing field are well defined. The scoreboard keeps tracking of the game's activity, and at the end of the prescribed period of time, a winner is declared. Someone wins, someone loses. In finite games, the people involved always work towards defeating someone or overrule someone. But when it comes to infinite games, that has no winners or losers. Rules often don't exist, and if they do, they are open to interpretation. The playing field is undefined. Opponents change frequently, as does the game itself. There are no clear winners or losers. Competitors drop out of the infinite game when they lose the will or resources to continue playing. The goal is to outlast your competition. In the infinite game, people work towards improving themselves by honing and smoothening anything that is subpar. Let's look at finite games. As an example, let's take baseball. Baseball has known players, fixed rules, agreed upon objectives, plays to beat those around them, and the joy comes from comparison. But if you look at infinite games, for an example, let's take a business. You have known and unknown players, and the rules change. Objective is to keep the game in play or perpetuate. Playing to be better today than they were yesterday, and the joy comes from advancement. Now let's look at it from the business perspective. The game of leadership and business is an infinite game where the rules change frequently. Competitors come and go, and there is no end point to the game. You are either ahead or behind. There is no ultimate winner or loser. The infinite game continues indefinitely until someone loses the will or the resources to keep playing. Rule number 1, being motivated. More than your why or purpose, a just cause is what motivates you to get out of the bed in the morning. It's the passion or hunger that burns inside that compels you to do what you do. Your just cause is what powers you to outlast your competitors. It propels you forward in the face of adversity and empowers you to persevere when you feel like giving up. Rule number 2, being courageous. Playing the infinite game requires leaders to prioritize the just cause above anything else. They are willing to stand up to the pressures of the board, Wall Street, or popular sentiment and stay true to their cause. This struggle is often too great for a single person to tackle alone. So it requires all the leaders of the organization and the team members and everyone around and about to bond together, to band together and act in alignment. Rule number 3, accepting vulnerabilities. Being a vulnerable team doesn't mean it's acceptable for everyone to walk around crying. It means you've invested the time and energy to build a culture in your organization where people feel safe to be themselves. They can admit they don't know something or they made a mistake. They can take appropriate risks without fear of retribution or retaliation. If your people don't feel safe, that is your fault, not theirs. Rule number 4, accepting advices. In the infinite game, advisories are acknowledged and treated with respect. But our success or failure isn't measured against them. Ultimately, we are competing against ourselves. Remember that. And our success or failure should be measured against our just cause. Our advisories may push us to improve our products, services, marketing, etc. But in the infinite game, we are constantly striving to become a better version of ourselves in order to fulfill our just cause. Last but not least, rule number 4, open playbook, or being flexible and having an open mind. Too many organizations pursue a variable course with a fixed strategy. Rather than pursuing a fixed course with a variable strategy, having an open playbook means leaders and organizations are willing to have flexible strategies and plans that change as needed to pursue their just cause. An open playbook also means you are transparent with your strategies, so all members of the team can literally be on the same page. Leaders resist being too transparent with information because they fear losing control. They distrust how people will use that information, so they hold it close to the vest. But that only results in people making suboptimal decisions because they don't know all the plays in the playbook. Remember, the goal is not to beat your competition. The goal is to outlast them.